Hi everyone, it's Erin from EB Mixed Media. I am here today to talk to you a little bit about a new swap that Rose, Mario, and I are hosting. It's called Trading Paper Pals, and that is our hashtag. And basically, this is a swap of papers between artists who like to use collage papers and painted papers in their artwork. We've filled all the slots. We had 100 slots for this first trade. We weren't sure how we were going to organize it and how much we could handle. So we're limiting it to 100 participants. Hopefully, if this all goes well, we'll offer more swaps and be able to take more people on in the future. So as part of the trade, participants will be sending out papers to other artists. And to do that, you obviously need to put your papers in something to mail them. And I thought it might be fun to talk about envelopes a little bit. Now, big caveat, you are under no obligation to do a fancy envelope. This isn't meant to pressure you or make you feel like you have to do anything fancy. But I was experimenting with making envelopes. I thought it could be a way to save some money and not having to buy them. In the United States, we have this 4x6 size envelope that is a standard size envelope. That's probably the best bet for mailing papers. The papers we're asking for are like half of an 8.5 by 11 or half of an A4 size. And so those would fit in here without folding them. So what you could do for an envelope, if you want to decorate it and get fun, I just did some stenciling on this envelope and outlined with pen, and it looks really cute. I got a smudge over here, but I'll put a label on it and it'll be fine. But that's one cute way to just jazz up your envelope. Now, if you're inclined to get fancier, you could make an envelope like the one I've made here. I'm just thrilled with how this turned out, and honestly, it wasn't that difficult to do. So I thought I'd spend some time showing you how I made them. This is a piece of drawing paper that I bought, and it comes in big, large sheets. This is from Strathmore, and it is 18 by 24 inches in size. But I cut it down to an 11 by 14, and that is sometimes more of a standard size that you can find in a pad. So these are 11 by 14 drawing paper. It's not cardstock, but it's heavier than copy paper. It's about a construction paper weight. Let's see. Let's get into the nitty gritty, and this is kind of complicated. So let's see here. So this is not the best diagram ever. It's got paint on it as well. Is there anything in my house that doesn't have paint on it? Again, so you have a 14 inches by 11 inches, and your envelope, the body of your envelope, needs to be 6 by 9. So 6 inches by 9, at least in the United States for mailing purposes. So you're going to cut your envelope like so. And this is the example here of how it would be cut. So you're basically are taking your large piece of paper, you're folding an inch down here, and then you have a 3-inch fold here and a 5-inch fold here, and then you're cutting out these spots here in order to get your flap. So in the end, you have something like this. Okay? All right. Let's make an envelope. So it's super easy to cover a large piece of paper very quickly just by putting your paint directly onto your paper. A little bit of white gesso as well. That might actually be too much. And I've got like a key card, an old credit card. This is I don't know, some arcade card from a skate rink of my kids. But all we're doing then is sliding this paint across the page. And you can be very precise about it, going in straight lines, or you can do swirls. But you just move the paint across very quickly. And I guess I had plenty, or not plenty. I guess I need a little more. I'll just put a little more white in. That should do it. And there's a big bunch right there I can pick up. Just a tiny bit more here. That wasn't a tiny bit, but that's all right. But see how you get the nice texture from your card marks, but it just covers a huge area very quickly, and it's relatively thin, that layer, and that's nice as well for an envelope. Okay, let's dry this. And if you were wondering, these are just Apple Barrel craft paints. This is Tuscan Teal. And now I'm going to do a stencil with Key West. So to do the stencil, we'll just put a bit on our page here. Maybe I won't. This is jammed. Whoa, that was way more than I needed. Nuts. Okay, I can use it somewhere else. And I've got a good size stencil here that'll cover quite a bit. And I'm just going to start stenciling, and I'm not going to be very precise, just quick. See? It's just giving some pattern and interest. But it doesn't have to be perfect in any way. This is going to take a minute, so I'm going to just speed up. This stencil, by the way, is from Stencil Girl. Was quick and relatively simple. I'm going to spread this out on this page because otherwise I know I will set my art in it. And this way it's not a big blob. And I can use the cinder paper for something else. All right. Now, let's go simple here. I've got this ginormous pill bottle. I don't think it's for pills. It's something from a pharmacy though. And I like to use it to make circles. You could use anything for this. You can use the cap of the glue stick. Lots of options for making circles. That's probably good. Let's give that a dry. This would actually be enough for an envelope. You really don't have to do much more, but if you want to add some extra oomph, I've got some watercolors here, and I have a gold metallic, and this can look really pretty. So I've just got a big round brush here that I'm gonna get some paint on and get it kind of liquidy. And then I'm just gonna do gold splatters. And that gold just adds some glamour and takes it up a notch. There you go. That's it. That's all you need to do to make a really sweet little envelope. Let's try another one. Let's do a sunny yellow gold. I grabbed a different key card so I don't get blue in here. By adding that white, I really toned down that color, which is King's Gold. again from Apple Barrel. And I'm just using white gesso, which is a little more fluid than a white paint would be. See how quickly that covered? Amazing. Did get a thumbprint right there from my dirty hands. So one thing that I just discovered that I want to caution you about is if you leave this down on your underpaper, when you go to pull it up, it will stick. And you can see right there, I tore it just a bit. I think that's probably going to be okay. Looking at this, if we look at our template, that's going to be a cutout section anyway. But just beware, you want to lift this up as soon as possible so it's not sticking to your underpaper. Okay, when choosing a stencil, it's a good idea to pick a good size stencil that's going to give you a lot of coverage rather than something small. You could go small, it's just you're going to spend more time doing it. So I've got this white out, so I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna do, this is sort of like a daisy, I thought. Let's see how this looks. That's cute. It's subtle, and I always like that. Let's keep going. Now, once again, you could completely leave this like this, or if you wanted to, you could outline each of your daisies. This is going to take more time, so it's just a matter of how much time you want to spend on this. It's cute if you don't do anything more than this. It's very cute. And for one last little bit of bling, we can do this. That's it. Easy peasy. Let's fold up our envelopes. Here's our template. So on your piece of paper, again, this is 14 inches by 11 inches. We are going to do a fold 1 inch in, 1 inch in, 3 inches, 5 inches, and that will get us the standard 6 inch by 9 inch envelope. So I'm just going to mark 1 inches down along here and 1 inch here. To give myself a fold line. And then here I'm going to do 3 inches across. And here I'm going to do 5 inches across. Let me use this ruler. This is from my kids' school days. There's my inch lines. Here's my inch on this side. If you have a bone folder, that's helpful. If not, you can just use a marker or a highlighter to help you get a nice crease. Here, we're going to fold this way. That 3 inches is off there. Tick mark looks like it's off. Let's see. Maybe not. Yeah, it was off. Okay, so now we have these folds. And this is going to be our envelope flap. So we want to cut inside here and all along here. So down here it's the same thing. Inside this way, inside this way. You don't have to measure, you don't have to be fancy. And then here you want to be inside your crease. And I did that there. And inside your crease here. So all of this comes out. Let's get some scissors and do that. Just to the inside of that crease. And the same on the bottom. There, and now you get to save some of those scraps for your own collection, which is great. There we have our envelope. Now we're going to fold in. This will fold up, and that'll fold down. All right. I like to use a nice heavy glue on this rather than a glue stick. You can use a glue stick, but I think I would enforce it with some tape. If you have double-sided tape, that would work as well. So this is Art Glitter Glue. It's super strong, good hold. There we go. And then since this doesn't have paint, I'm gonna make that the flap that is sort of the opening flap, I guess. I'm gonna glue this one shut. Now, one thing I should have done was made sure my measurements are right, because you have to be a little bit worried about the post office. That's just shy of 6 inches. That's 9 bang on. Okay. So there we go. Now looking at this, I want more circles. I'm going to go back and fix that. There, that was completely OCD of me, but I wanted more circles on the page. So there you have it. You can add a label for your mailing address. And then for closing it, you could do some washi tape. You could glue it if you're worried about it opening in the post. I think if you're going international, that's probably a good idea. And the recipient will just have to very carefully tear it. I've also made a ton of washi tape in fodder school, which is packing tape, and it's activated. It's got a gummy back. It's activated with water. So that could be another option. I would probably cut that down to size, and you could add that as well as a nice embellishment. So lots of ways to seal it. So there's just a few options. Decorating an envelope, making some envelopes. I hope that gives you some great ideas. This is also a great way to make paper for your trade. Hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to seeing everything that you guys create and trade with each other. It's super exciting, and I'm so glad that you've joined us. We'll talk again soon. Thanks so much. You can find me on Instagram at EB Mixed Media. That's EB_Mixed Media. Have a good one, everybody.